God is good. God is good. God is good. And all the time. What an honor and a blessing to be here at the National Action Network, to be back home with all of you, with my distinguished colleagues in government, of course, the great Charlie Rangel. I stand on his shoulders. I'm so thankful to have learned and benefited from his wisdom, his life experiences, his insight. Of course, the current borough president, the former borough president. That's one of my closest friends in politics, y'all, Ruben Diaz Jr. We served in the assembly together, the DA, all of the council members and members of the state legislature, and of course, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton, who we know one of his early mentors, in addition to Dr. Bill Jones, was James Brown. And it was said about James Brown that he was the hardest working man in show business. But I'm thankful that year after year, decade after decade, laboring in the vineyards of our community, it can be said without a doubt that Al Sharpton has been the hardest working man in the people's business. And we're so thankful for him. Al Sharpton, a civil rights champion, a voice for the voiceless, a defender of the disenfranchised, a powerful, profound, prophetic, principled preacher and man of the people. And we're so thankful for him. And on top of all of that, he's from my hometown. He's from my hometown. Now you know Brooklyn. I know I'm in Harlem, y'all, but he's from my hometown, and you know, Brooklyn has given the world many things. I'm gonna just give you a brief list. We've given the world many things. We gave the world Shirley Chisholm. We gave the world Jackie Robinson. We gave the world Junior's Cheesecake. We gave the world Coney Island. We gave the world Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We gave the world the Notorious B.I.G. And we gave the world Al Sharpton. And so we're thankful for you, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. Now, it's been a big week. Washington, D.C. You know, the House of Representatives is a magical institution. It's the institution that the framers designed to be the closest to the people, to reflect the hopes, the dreams, the aspirations, the fears, the concerns, the anxieties, and the passions of the people. And I believe no one does it better than House Democrats, because we reflect the people. We're of the people. We've had the life experiences of the people. You know, 10 years ago when I got to the House, and I'm proud, I grew up in the Cornerstone Baptist Church. I went from the Cradle Roll Department to the United States Congress. But God. And so I'm thankful for Reverend Lacey, who preached the word on today. I get to the House on that first day, and I see John Lewis and Charlie Rangel, Maxine Waters, so many legendary members of the House, Jim Clyburn. It's that first day I'm so excited. I gotta be honest, y'all. I was tempted to go to the front of the chamber, stand in the well in front of the microphone and simply say, holla. I didn't do it, but that's what I was tempted to do 10 years ago. But then I thought to myself, I said, if I do that, I might just hear the voice of Shirley Chisholm. Y'all know I represent many parts of the district that she used to represent. I figured if I did that, I might just hear the voice of Shirley Chisholm calling down from heaven, saying, young man, we sent you to Congress to stand up. Don't go down there and act up. And for the last 5 terms, inspired by those around me, those upon whose shoulders I stand, inspired by the work that Reverend Sharpton and all of you do at NAM, I've been working hard to stand up. Yes, sir. Stand up for the communities that I'm privileged to represent. Stand up for social justice and economic justice, for criminal justice reform. Stand up for working families, middle-class folks, those who aspire to be part of the middle class, young people, seniors, immigrants, veterans. Stand up for the poor, the sick, the afflicted, the least, the lost, and the left behind. At our best, that's what House Democrats do. We stand up for the people. That's not a slogan, y'all. It's a way of life. It's what we believe in. And we've got the track record to prove it. Under the great leadership of President Biden and Speaker Pelosi, a legendary speaker, heroic speaker, and our very own Chuck Schumer, Democrats in the House and the Senate. He's also from Brooklyn, y'all. Under the work of these folks, led by our president, we've got the track record to prove that we fight and deliver for the people. We passed the American Rescue Plan, saved the economy, put shots in arms, money in pockets, kids back in school. But we didn't stop there. Then we passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which will create millions of good-paying jobs right here in New York and all across the land. Fix our crumbling bridges, roads, tunnels, our airports, our water and sewer system, our mass transportation system. Ensure that there's clean water in every single community. No more Jackson, Mississippi's. And make sure there's high-speed internet all across the land. But we didn't stop there. We passed gun safety legislation for the first time in 30 years that will save lives. And we know here in New York City, in Harlem, back at home in Bed-Stuy, East New York, the West End of Coney Island, and the South Bronx, Southeast Queens, the guns that are used to commit crime, they're not initially purchased here. They're not manufactured in New York City or New York State. In fact, they come up the Iron Pipeline, I-95. And these weapons of death make their way into our communities. And so, as part of that gun safety legislation, we made gun trafficking a federal crime for the first time in American history to help stop the flood of guns into our communities. But then we didn't stop there. We passed the CHIPS and Science Act to bring domestic manufacturing jobs back home to the United States of America, as opposed to our jobs being shipped in the other direction. And then we topped off this string of incredible legislative success on your behalf by passing the Inflation Reduction Act to strike a decisive blow against the climate crisis, set our planet on a sustainable trajectory forward, lower energy costs, strengthen the Affordable Care Act, lower health care costs, and drive down the high price of life-saving prescription drugs for millions of Americans in a whole lot of areas, including dealing with the fact that for far too long, the average American family has spent, on average, $4,000 a year on insulin. As a result of the Inflation Reduction Act, starting next month, we will lower that to $35 a month. An incredible string of legislative success on your behalf. And on top of all of that, Ketanji Brown Jackson is seated on the United States Supreme Court. The D in Democrat stands for deliver. Let's be clear. And so we've got a track record of success to demonstrate that we put people over politics. But we know, of course, that there's wickedness in high places, issues that we still got to deal with as we move forward. But I'm looking forward to working with all of my colleagues in the House, all of my colleagues in the House Democratic Caucus to continue the fight on your behalf. We believe in a country that provides for the poor, works for working families, makes sense for the middle class, and stands up for senior citizens. We believe in a country that will innovate in the inner city, strengthen suburban communities, help out the heartland, and revitalize rural America. We believe in a country with liberty and justice for all, equal protection under the law, free and fair elections, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. These are values that we want to bring to life as we fight to make life better for all of you, for everyday Americans in every corner of the land. And so I'm thankful for your support, for your love, for your prayers as we enter this new chapter on your behalf, on behalf of our great country, where I'm going to continue every day, every week, every month, every year that I have the opportunity to serve you, to fight for lower costs, fight for better paying jobs, fight for safer communities, defend our democracy, fight for freedom, protect the public interest, ensure economic opportunity in every corner of America, and fight to pass the John Robert Lewis Freedom to Vote Act so we can end the era of voter suppression here in America once and for all. And lastly, with your support, in 2 years, we're going to take back control of the United States House of Representatives. God bless you. God bless man. God bless the United States of America.